everybody, let's start with another Patreon Q&A time. We're going to try something different now. Let's take a walk down Central Park. All right, this is the most tip at Columbus Circle, and let me answer some questions and answers. First one, what is Ruby's favorite snack? I wish it was something that was actually edible, but she seems to love the stuffing inside her toys. And no matter how much I tell her it's not food or give her commands, as is drop it or leave it, she thinks that stuff's amazing. And she'll gobble it up and then she'll, cough. And every time be surprised that somehow this stuffing is not, in fact, lovely, tasty food for dogs. My next question. As you know, we just finished Easter a while back. And as a child, I used to have very unique Easter egg hunts with my siblings, and my dad would make up all kinds of clues for us to find things around the house. So my question for this was, what was my favorite year? I would say my favorite year of the Easter egg hunt was when things got really complicated and involved foreign languages and ciphers that were found by looking at certain words in books and putting the pieces together. I really like the idea of games and puzzles for Easter. I think it was very fun, and when I have children, I like to do the same. Have you ever met someone who feels like someone you've known a long time, or doesn't fit a normal status, like a friend or a lover or a mentor? That's from Anna. And of course, besides Anna is that answer, because Anna, you've always felt somewhat, not ambiguous, but between the worlds of all those relationships. I'd have to say it was definitely a woman I met when I first came to this city, and after I finished production of the Scottish play, and her name is Tess Suchoff, and she wasn't even in the play. She was a friend of an actor in the show who came by once. We started talking on Facebook, and it led to phone calls, and the whole relationship was fascinating and deep and rewarding, and at the same time had all these ineffable qualities. Was she a friend? Was she a crush? It wasn't any of those. It was more like, this is an intense person who I feel like I've known all my life. And it just felt so wonderful. If you could manifest something into this world like a 2-year-old, what would it be? And that's a question from Anna, because she knows that there are people in her life who just seem to automatically be confident about the fact that they could get whatever they wanted and that the world was catered towards them. And if I could do the same thing, I would, as a 2-year-old, just ask for what I want and ask people for what I need and not worry if I'm being selfish or if I'm ignoring what is right for everybody else, and just say, hey, I want this. I need to be hugged. I need this particular job. I need you to talk to me. I think that'd be very freeing. Last question. What's the scariest thing you ever had to do in front of an audience? I've done a lot of weird things, but I would say the scariest thing was my first one-man show, Ghost on a Stick. Mainly because it's about 50 to 60% autobiographical. And that was really hard, to be the person I was a decade ago and deal with the mental illness and anger and frustration and falling in love for the first time. And I think that was even the hardest part of it all, just being bare and honest about what it's like to be unguarded and in love and to have that all go sour. I think that was very, very tough. And it's one of the main reasons why I don't think I'm going to ever revive the show again. It just wasn't fun to do. It was vital and important, but it was just gut-wrenching every time. My question's for you. What's a fad you were convinced would be around forever? And what is the favorite piece of art you've seen in person? I hope you've enjoyed the visuals. I'll see you next month. Love you.